Coming up on AgWeek TV. As our Thankful for Ag series continues, we'll visit a farm that's helping find a cure for Huntington's disease with some very special sheep. We'll meet a family who's thankful for the little things. Commodity groups come together to promote sustainability, and a North Dakota tree farm is growing Christmas cheer. Welcome to AgWeek TV. I'm Emily Beal. We hope you're enjoying the holiday weekend. This month, we're continuing our annual tradition of showing you some of the ways people are thankful for ag. Folks involved in agriculture often say it provides food, fuel, and fiber, but one area farm is adding pharmacy to the list. I visited Harvest Hope Farm, where they're using a very special herd of sheep to fight a deadly disease.
We always knew about this farm that we needed to do something more and something special with it.
Jason and Lynn Cutterba own and operate their nonprofit, Harvest Hope Farm, just north of Moorhead, Minnesota. The farm offers summer camps for children, but it also does something more important. Using their flock of white-faced polypace sheep, the farm focuses on Huntington's disease research. The family has a personal connection with the rare disease, which has no cure.
Lynn's family, we knew that has been affected with Huntington's disease for a long time, and her mom and her sister both died when they were 49 years old.
They discovered Huntington's research was being done with sheep while scrolling on Facebook. The Cutterbas knew they needed to be a part of the effort and reached out to Glycoscience Research in South Dakota, who conducts the studies.
My training is in reproductive physiology, so I was pretty excited when Lynn and Jason asked me to help out as they went on this initial sheep venture.
Kim Benami is the co-chair of the board of directors for Harvest Hope Farm. As an animal scientist, she's been able to help the Cutterbas on their research journey.
While all mammals make GM1, these sheep actually overproduce it. And why that's important is because certain people who have diseases like Huntington's disease, they actually underproduce that. So the goal is if we can harvest the overproduction made by these sheep, we can use that molecule to help treat individuals with Huntington's, Parkinson's, and other neurological diseases.
Some of them carry an extra sugar in them that has stopped the effects of Huntington's disease in mice.
The ultimate goal is to help find a cure for Huntington's to honor their family members who lost their battle to the disease.
I always kept wondering, what can we do about this? And I didn't know at the time, but upon getting the farm and having an avenue to do something about it really is near and dear to my heart.
The Cutterbas research flock has grown from 13 sheep to around 100. Minnesota students are thankful for Ag's contribution to their school lunches. Thanks to the Farm to School program, schools can get federal and state grants to buy fresh, local produce, meat, and dairy products. The Director of Food and Nutrition Services for Moorhead Public Schools says right now they are able to source just a small amount of local food, but hope to keep increasing that every year. Ashley Schneider says it's important for students to learn about where their food comes from, and she says the kids love trying new foods.
We are very thankful for Ag because it allows us to be able to offer local fruits and vegetables, support our farmers, and teach our kids where their food comes from. And without Ag, we wouldn't be able to do that.
October was National Farm to School Month to celebrate the connection between farms and local schools. The Moorhead Public School held several special events through the month featuring local produce. One North Dakota family is thankful for the little things that have helped them grow a big business. Mickle Pates introduces you to the toy farmer in this week's AgWeek cover story.
Of the older tractors, almost all of them have been made into collector tractors. If not a toy, then a collector tractor.
Kathy Scheibe is big into small things, miniature farm machinery, that is. In the late 70s, her husband Claire got interested in collecting farm toys. Soon, Claire and Kathy started printing a newsletter for farm toy enthusiasts that evolved into a magazine.
We started out with this 4-page black and white newsletter. Now it's a full 100% color magazine. This was the first one, as you can see.
In 1978, the Scheibes paired with farm toy manufacturer Ertl Company to launch the National Farm Toy Show at Dyersville, Iowa. The show was the first of its type and at the home of Ertl Toys. The The show continues to this day, and each year the Scheibe family and Ertl produce a new collectible toy to sell at the show.
When we choose what we're going to do each year, we kind of look at what we like, and usually it's vintage, and although we have done some newer ones, and we work with the Ertl company too to figure out what would probably do well.
Claire Scheibe died in the year 2000, but Kathy, their children and staff continue to run and develop the business.
I don't know that we necessarily sell toys per se, we sell emotions.
Toy Farmer subscription manager Wendy Larson says they have some 7,000 subscribers around the world. She says they're kind of celebrities in the farm toy world.
When they recognize that you're from Toy Farmer, boy, they got a lot to tell you. They want to tell you about their collection, what their dad used to collect.
Scheibe says it's hard to define the difference between collector tractors and farm toys, but she advises go with your heart.
People ask me all the time, what tractor should I buy to invest in? And we've always told them, buy them because you love them.
Near Lemoore, North Dakota, this is Mikkel Pates for AgWeek.
You can read more in the next AgWeek magazine or at agweek.com. Growers may need a Plan A and a Plan B to counter herbicide-resistant weeds in 2023. Plan A is putting pre-emergent herbicides down in the fall. Plan B involves a pre-emergence in the spring and layering residual herbicides with post-emergent spraying. The goal with chemicals is 100% control, but most chemistries have a label that indicates between 70 and 90% control. Agronomist Kevin Erickson says most labels recommend using them on weeds less than 3 inches. Erickson says spraying weeds larger than that isn't effective. He says your best chance is to keep them from coming up, either with tillage or pre-emergence.
Once they're out of the ground, you're under the gun to spray them by certain height. Most weeds will say, 2 to 3 inch weeds. Well, all of a sudden 2 to 3 inch weeds turn out to be 5 to 6. And then the chemistries, you just can't get enough chemistry on the growing points to take them out.
Erickson doesn't see any problems with supply. He says some input prices are up for next year, but not like the jump from 21 to 22. Coming up on AgweekTV, Minnesota farm groups look for ways to beef up meat processing in the state.
I'm Peter Bosch. I've been working with Gateway Building Systems for a little over 20 years now. I chose Gateway Building Systems to build my shop because I wanted a building that could both be used for my equipment and as a place for my family to hang out and do things. I would advise anybody that's thinking about working with Gateway to go in and talk to the guys there, tell them your plans and your future dreams, and let them design something for you.
Farming the land carries a lot of responsibilities. You plan and forecast the acres. You plant the crops. You spray the crops. You pray over the crops for good weather and moisture. And you harvest the crops that are long awaited. Erickson Custom Operations would like to extend to you and your families a blessed and happy Thanksgiving.
Every season has an end. After spending your whole life building something, it can be hard to move on to your next stage in life. But when that time comes, you deserve to have someone you trust guide you through the process. And by trusting us to pass on your legacy, it gives someone else the chance to create their own. Every auction has a story. Let us share yours.
There's no easy button, no guarantees, or promises of a good year. This is farming. It's unpredictable and demanding, with long days and sometimes stressful nights. It's weathering the storms and coming out successful. Farming isn't for everyone. We thank those who make it their life, because it is for everyone.
Risk management is not just for the grains. Livestock producers, did you know you too can protect the price for your production? Livestock Risk Protection, or LRP for short, is a great tool to help you protect the price of your calves. Cattle producers can also protect their pasture and hayland from lack of rainfall with Pasture Rangeland Forage, or PRF insurance. This is a very affordable way to help producers in times of below average rainfall. Call the risk management specialist, Martinson Ag Risk Management,
Both the Minnesota Farmers Union and Minnesota Farm Bureau held their annual conventions recently and set priorities for the upcoming year. This year, much of the state recovered from drought the previous year, so many growers ended up with a better crop than 2021. So even with higher input prices, Minnesota Farmers Union President Gary Werdish says for the most part, farmers will do all right this year.
For the most part, we did fine this year, and it's always a struggle. The input prices are high, but that's a concern going into the next couple of years. This year the commodity prices are strong, so we can weather that, but we can't weather it for long.
Although the two groups may have a different political bent, both groups agree some of the major issues facing farmers include the 2023 Farm Bill, affordable health care, climate resilience, and expanding local meat processing. Minnesota Farm Bureau President Dan Glessing says building rural communities is a priority.
Anything we can do to strengthen that rural community too, like broadband, rural childcare, rural housing. So all of that is kind of what we're experiencing now.
Both groups are working to increase membership among younger farmers. One of the topics of a panel discussion at the Farmers Union Convention is the need to build a more resilient system for meat processing in the state. When large packing plants shut down during COVID, it showed the need for more local processing. Since then, a broad array of partners have been working to build a more distributed system for meat processing in the state. That includes several Minnesota colleges now offering courses for meat processing, as well as business skills to train young people to take over current businesses from people ready to retire. The Minnesota Ag Department has a number of grants available to people who are interested in getting into meat processing. Sustainability continues to be a hot-button topic in agriculture. Commodity groups came together at the National Association of Farm Broadcasting Convention to share what they're doing to help farmers with sustainability practices and why working together is important.
85% of soybean farmers are also corn growers, right? And so it's really a great opportunity for all the major commodity groups to work together, to all row in the same direction, to work towards increasing resilience on the farm, increasing profitability through sustainability measures.
60% of pork producers' carbon footprint comes from the feed they give their animals, making it important for them to work with row crop commodities.
Working with our feed commodity partners, since it is our biggest piece, obviously that's the greatest bang for our buck. So anything that we can work with our row crop partners on to improve sustainability in the field reflects positively on U.S. pork.
Sugar was also discussed at the NAFB convention. The Red River Valley had a successful sugar beet harvest season. Lily Zhang, Director of Communications for the American Sugar Alliance, said both sugar beets and sugarcane harvest in the U.S. did well this year. She believes sustainability efforts may have been part of the success.
Harvest was great this year. We've got about 9 million tons coming in. 5 million of that will be beets, 4 will be cane. We've gotten more sugar than we expected in both the beets and canes. With sustainability efforts, the production has been really strong. We've been getting a lot more production for less land.
The U.S. is the 5th largest sugar producer in the world. Coming up on AgweekTV, we'll meet a farmer who's returned some of his land to its natural state for a profit.
The team at North Star Ag is committed to quality and committed to you. We're not just a full-service dealer, we're farmers too, so we know you need the best machinery and services that'll keep you going all season long. We have the largest equipment inventory in the upper Midwest with a well-equipped parts and service department. So whether you need machinery tomorrow or parts today, stop in and experience what North Star Ag can offer on our website at northstar-ag.com or give us a call at 701-361-4790.
Farmers and ag dealers, join us for the NDAA Northern Ag Expo at the Fargo Dome, November 29th and 30th. Hear timely seminar speakers and enjoy a floor filled with crop production and service exhibits. The Northern Ag Expo, November 29th and 30th at the Fargo Dome. We'll see you there.
Dynaflow is the ultimate high-volume water management pump. Whether you're experiencing flooding, emptying sloughs, transferring ponds, or working on irrigation, the Dynaflow pump works in as little as 18 inches of water and is designed to move 3,000 gallons per minute. The Dynaflow lift pump is the perfect upgrade to your drain tile system. Using line shaft turbine pump technology, these pumps are made to last while operating efficiently. Dynaflow drain tile pumps can move up to 1,500 gallons per minute up to 3,400 feet away.
Learn how you can improve your soil's health during the Northern Ag Expo, November 29th and 30th. Visit Erickson Custom Operations at booth 809 to learn how AgweEK, a revolutionary nanoliquid technology, can help improve your soil's nutrient absorption. We'll also have experts available to talk about how to increase your soil's productivity by enhancing its overall health using calcine. During the show, join us for refreshments and special open discussion at Homewood Inn & Suites, 8:30 to 11 a.m. each day. We'll be sharing results from our 2022 trials and new products that can help improve production. That's booth 809, November 29th and 30th at the Fargo Dome during the Northern Ag Expo. And 8:30 to 11 a.m. at the Homewood Inn & Suites across the street.
Will the region have favorable weather for Thanksgiving weekend? Here's John with our AgriWeather Outlook.
What had been a fairly cold and somewhat snowy November over the northern plains, southern Canada, upper Midwest, we've gotten a little bit of respite from the cold over the Thanksgiving holiday, but now it looks like as December gets rolling on, it's back to some cold weather dropping down, and there will be a couple of chances for significant snow over the next couple of weeks as we get into the first few days of December. However, that's not quite the same as this being a wet pattern. In fact, as I see it, I'll show you in just a minute, there will be some parts of this that will likely yield significant precipitation, but a lot of the snow is going to end up not having a lot of water to it. Let's check out the jet stream first. Temporary respite from the cold over the weekend. Sunday, Monday, back into fairly cold weather into the northern plains, northern Rockies. This frigid stuff, which is meaning, by this I'm implying high temperatures near zero or below 0 Fahrenheit. Cold weather is high temperatures near 32 or lower. Cool weather is not so bad. Cold weather is going to be pretty much dominating over the northern Rockies, northern plains. And as the week goes along, with this jet stream taking on a fairly troughy pattern, the frigid weather will actually begin to dive southward. And notice this kind of elongated low pressure area. That's going to bring some rain to parts of California that have not had too much. But eventually, that low is going to kind of cut itself off toward the end of the week, which is going to allow a fairly strong north to south jet stream, which is the time we get into that first week in December, will likely deliver the coldest weather of the season so far, with some single digit or maybe near 0 degree highs into some parts of the northern plains. That's presuming there's snow on the ground. More on that in just a minute. And that frigid weather won't last too long. It is fairly early December, but it does look like a pretty cold start to the month of December. So this first week, as we get this southwest flow coming out, I do anticipate a storm system to move from southwest to northeast, and this will deliver some snow. A lot of this is not likely to be particularly wet snow. Their water content may not be that great. And I'm not talking feet of snow here. I'm talking inches of snow. And then a little further south into the corn and bean belt is where it's more likely to generate some significant moisture. There also will be some much needed drought relief down in through much of California. And that'll come in the form of rain and mountain snow. The second week, with colder weather in place, the stormy weather would yield the significant moisture further south. The northern part of this would be dry snow, and the northern Great Plains would likely be fairly dry and relatively persistently cold as we go on through December.
The passion to make this season better than the last. Since the beginning, it's been our goal too. From our pipeline of groundbreaking traits to new technologies, ours is a story of innovation and a proven track record that's pushed performance and the industry farther than many thought was possible. But there's still work to be done and yields to chase. Because as you know all too well, success doesn't come to those who wait.
Don't miss out on the equipment you'll need next season.
Titan Machinery, your local Case IH dealer, has early order discounts on its full line of powerful, efficient, new Case IH equipment, including tractors, combines, and self-propelled sprayers. Get a great deal and ensure that you have the latest in productivity and technology. Supply chains are tight. Contact your Titan Machinery dealership today and find out how much you can save by ordering ahead. Titan Machinery, your local Case IH equipment experts.
Small or large, Superior Grain Equipment has a storage solution for you with a wide variety of bin options and accessories, along with site planning and superior customer service. Plus, from top to bottom, we offer the industry's best bins and warranties to protect your products and your grain storage investment. Get superior quality, protection, and reliability with generations of experience and dependability. Make the superior choice today with Superior Grain Equipment.
Grain Handling Direct presents How to Purchase Grain Storage Solutions in Your Bathrobe. First, go to grainhandlingdirect.com. Browse our products, check prices, and add your selection to a cart. You can place your order online or call our customer service reps with any questions. We'll route your order to the manufacturer and ship it directly to your front door. grainhandlingdirect.com. Direct and simple to save you money.
For AgWeek, this is Mikkel Pates at Watertown, South Dakota.
We'll look at the positive impacts that dairy can have on the community.
A Minnesota couple has put a grain bin to a new use. Spoiler alert, it's not grain.
This elaborate system of tubing with the downhill slope is how Maplewood State Park gathers sap to make syrup.
Thanks for watching AgWeek TV. Remember, for all your ag news, go to agweek.com and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Wetland mitigation is an effort to offset the loss of wetlands from projects like housing developments, road construction, or farming. If someone wants to drain wetlands for other uses, they have to replace them. One way is through wetland mitigation banking. Rose Dunn explains how it works.
When we first started, everybody was just baffled what we were doing.
Kevin Root bought this land near St. Cloud, Minnesota in 2015, but he soon discovered it was not great farmland.
It's heavier areas that are actually peat ground, very peaty, very wet, hold the moisture and not well drained. A wet year is very tough.
So after a few years of battling wet conditions, sometimes making harvest nearly impossible, Root heard about wetlands banking. It's a state and federal program that allows a landowner to sell credits to whoever is impacting other wetlands by restoring some of their own land to its native state.
A very high quality wetland and buffer habitat.
Wes Bowl of Moore Engineering worked with Root on this project. Moore has scientists, surveyors, and engineers who work with landowners to build these projects.
The Moore team has experts that can help you with every step of the process, from initial site evaluation through the development and implementation of the plan, and finally the monitoring of the project and helping deposit the credits.
After cleaning up weeds on the land and building a berm to restore hydrologic conditions removed by historic ditching and tiling, it was time to plant native species, grasses, and flowers. Root still owns the land, but it's now permanently restricted from farming or development. And he says it's profitable.
I wouldn't make as much in 100 years as I plan to make on this. And then we still have the land.
Root can still use the land for hunting, and it's drawn several new bird species.
Since we put it into a wetland, it's just been amazing the amount of birds and waterfall. We have people stopping on the road with cameras and telescopes. It's very satisfying, very rewarding.
Near St. Cloud, this is Rose Dunn for AgWeek.
For more information on wetland mitigation or wetland mitigation banking, you can contact Moore Engineering. Still ahead, while most farmers have wrapped up harvest, it's peak season for some.
All right, here's the free gift I got for opening up a checking account. Let's see what I got.
Okay guys, so I got this portable DVD player.
Yeah, I'm not sure why my bank would give me a tiny waffle maker.
So it's a tumbler, but it doesn't fit in any of my cup holders.
I wasn't even sure they still made these.
Is it for kids? Is this for kids?
Don't fall for the free gift. Find a bank that cares about what you really need.
Cornerstone Bank.
The team at North Star Ag is committed to quality and committed to you. We're not just a full-service dealer, we're farmers too, so we know you need the best machinery and services that'll keep you going all season long. We have the largest equipment inventory in the upper Midwest with a well-equipped parts and service department. So whether you need machinery tomorrow or parts today, stop in and experience what North Star Ag can offer on our website at northstar-ag.com or give us a call at 701-361-4790.
Farming the land carries a lot of responsibilities. You plan and forecast the acres. You plant the crops. You spray the crops. You pray over the crops for good weather and moisture. And you harvest the crops that are long awaited. Erickson Custom Operations would like to extend to you and your families a blessed and happy Thanksgiving.
Why I ultimately choose them is they handled everything from the site prep, the dirt work, the gravel. The electricians were all excellent and they're very knowledgeable in the dryer setups themselves. They made sure that they designed me a system that was expandable years into the future. It was a long-term encompassing project, and that's what I appreciate about their knowledge. I'm Ethan Hansen from Blanchard, North Dakota, and I would definitely recommend Advanced Grain for all your grain storage handling needs.
Go beyond the headlines with an AgWEEK membership. Get in-depth agribusiness reporting, original farm and ranch stories, and fact-based research for the most comprehensive ag news in the upper Midwest. Experienced ag journalists bring you exclusive ag news, insights, and policy updates you won't find anywhere else. Become a member today and get unlimited access to AgWEEK and AgweekTV.
The Christmas tree business is evergreen for a North Dakota farmer. 30 years ago, Jerome Suker planted 200 evergreen seedlings on the land he owns at the edge of Towner, North Dakota. 7 years later, he started selling trees. Today, Suker Prairie Pines has 1,500 Colorado blue and Black Hill spruce trees in various stages of growth. Each Christmas, he sells about 50 trees and plants seedlings to replace them in the spring. He says he just loves growing Christmas trees.
I started back in 1992, and ever since, I've grown many trees for people to enjoy the Christmas trees during the holidays, and just a good feeling that I have doing this.
Suker says only about 7 or 8 farms still grow them in North Dakota. He says this is a hobby for him. He also works at the state nursery. Stories you'll only see on AgWeek.com and in AgWeek magazine this week. Minnesota State Senator Eric Putnam will lead the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Rural Development, and Broadband. And a late-season drought has some ethanol plants paying a premium price for corn. We appreciate you watching AgWeek TV. Remember to check us out daily on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to keep up on all your ag news. Have a great week.